Welcome back, everybody, to another MLB The Show 26 video. And in today's video, which was planned originally to be something different, the devs decided to really gaslight everybody. And we're not going to have it. They did make some changes, some good, some bad. However, we're going to talk about it. Because there is some tomfoolery afoot here. So we're just going to get into it right now, and it's going to be a little spicy because your boy is very, very annoyed. So this is the new patch that is now live. There are some good things in here, some bad things in here. If you see the thing below me, or to the direct right here, that line right there, that's where we spend most of our time. But I do want to talk about, we're going to go through all this, and then I'm going to roast some people, because this is unequivocally one of the worst things I've ever seen in terms of me playing video games in my 30 years of life. Because my God, guys, wow. Okay, so let's just go through this as quickly as we can. This will probably be somewhat short, but we're just gonna we'll go through most of the stuff here. I generally don't do this, but this is all the stuff. Fantastic. You got the newer City Connect, some BS updates. Oh, I think this is hilarious. Matt, menu lag improvements and optimization. Neat. I don't know about this bug, but how about, oh, there you go, win-loss, there you go. Fix an exploit where game users could interact with the win-loss. Oh yeah, that's right, I saw that. Hitting ball in the dirt when a player lock. Wait, what? Freezes. Bug remedies will be missing. Loading screen. Audio. Player models. Nothing here that's like overly exciting. These are all guys who I think sort of like semi-retired, I think. Even Luke still plays. Peter Lambert, I think, still plays. Cortez still plays. Cobb. All right, let's talk about the updated strike zone. So we've updated the DD strike zone to match real-world ABS rules, meaning every pitch that touches the zone will be called a strike. This change matches the strike zone that we've employed across the game when ABS was an option since the launch. This made me laugh. Umpires in DD will continue to make perfect calls so that we know ABS challenges. Go watch any gameplay video from anyone. Go watch a stream of people playing DD, playing ranked. We know this isn't true. Now, a lot of times their excuse, I think, was, well, it's visual. There have been calls for and against me in games, and I've been playing more and more ranked recently. And let me tell you, there have been balls where it'll be like edge of the zone right here. Like the ball will be right, like half on, and it'll be called a ball. It'll be on the corner, called a ball. I personally, as a hitter, I'd just be consistent. That's all I can really ask for. And it wasn't perfect. I don't know why they're trying to stay like it was perfect. Well, our eyes must have been lying to us. Or whatever. They could say it's visual all at once. Okay. In order to properly represent ABS rules, the updated strike zone is slightly smaller than it previously was in DD, but this is purely visual update. It doesn't change what constitutes a strike or a ball. Again, I think ultimately you're gonna, on the hitting side, you'll be fine. You'll realize it might take you a little bit just to be like, oh, okay, that's the stuff that nicks it's gonna be called a strike, which is fine. Look, I'm from the little bit I saw people playing early today, it looks okay. I don't think it's going to be this bigger thing of like, oh God, they're getting that strike now. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is going to be is like, will there be a little bit of a learning curve? Probably, but I think ultimately it'll make more sense just because now we know, okay, we can approach it differently and just be like, all right, that was a good pitch. Because if you hit a corner like that on a pitch that's outside or inside and you hit the corner or the side, like especially corners, you're like, good pitch, carry on with your day. And then appreciate your feedback. And now let's talk about, let's talk about the fair play. Keeping the game fair takes all of us. Exploit cheats of any authorized tools used to gain an unfair advantage is against our TOS. We are committed to enforcing these rules to ensure the best possible experience for the community. Our team is actively monitoring game activity to identify these violations. We take action on a number of accounts and continue to take action moving forward, including permabans. Community reports are a critical part of this, and we are committed to maintaining fair and balanced gameplay in MLB The Show. And we truly appreciate everyone who helps us uphold that standard. We'll kind of see a lot of it from what it's software, and it is what it is. If you do run into a cheater, I report them. Report them. I've ran into one in good old Weekend Classic. That was really the only time. I think there have been a couple of other ones, but it was like that was like the real egregious thing. So take it for what it's worth. Keep an eye out. Granted, I'm not gonna be like other streamers and say if you're in the lower divisions, you're not gonna see it. Here's what I think is what's really going on is I think once it's out there, because they talk about like, oh, it's on the higher ones. If only 5% of the player base makes it to World Series, and they're saying there's thousands of people using this, I'm willing to bet you it's not just going to be like in your 600-700 range. If I had to guess, it's going to be around the 450s to 700 range, just because of how the game will scale and how it like plus minuses work. So let's just say hypothetically they're trying not to get caught. They got up to like 650. They hit 700 and they don't want to keep going. So then they just slowly lose and sort of bounce their way back. So I think between 500 and 700, where's World Series, is where most of these guys are going to be. Granted, it might be a little bit upper too. But again, we're saying 5% of people make World Series. That's 700. So let's just slide that scale down. So I would say 500, 550 in there is probably where most of them are lie. So I think we can kind of figure this out. But again, I don't think people know what they're looking for. They can just sort of just be like, they're hitting everything that's in the zone and taking a lot of stuff that would be considered a ball. Really weird. Their eye's really, really good. Take it or leave it. But there's that. Now let's talk about this, because holy cowabunga, these guys are pulling some Blizzard level bullshit. All right. Clarifying plate coverage indicator, PCI shrinkage. Shortly before launch, it was communicated on stream that we would be removing PCI shrinkage on pitches down and away. We wanted to take the time to provide some clarity regarding that. For balancing purposes, the game inherently applies bonuses and penalties based on pitch type and location. For example, if a pitcher hangs a curveball, your PCI grows because in real-world baseball, that is a mistake, and hitters will generally punish those pitches. Similarly, if a pitcher dots a slider down and away, that pitch inherently is more difficult to hit, hence the slight reduction in your PCI size. So, let's talk about this really briefly. That's not how any of this works, and I know it's a visual thing. Let's be really hyperbolic here. You played ranked, and if you ever get bored, you sort of do like the spit, like you kind of go around the area of the zone with your stick, kind of like, woo, go around it. On the corners, because the way the strike zone is, it tightens. So the corners, it already drops a good amount. Like before pre-pitch, it will drop on the corners. You visually see it kind of go a little bit. When they talk about this, and they're like, it gets bigger if they hang a curveball. Okay. Neat. But it gets smaller if they dot with those sliders. Okay. What do you expect us to do? But okay. And it says, before the change, the user was penalized for both A, breaking balls moving away from the batter, and B, the pitch location being down in the strike zone. After the change, the user is only getting one of those penalties, not both. So also understand your swing timing plays a huge role in your PCI size. So what they're trying to tell us is we did fix it, but we didn't remove it. Oh, well, how'd you fix it? Well, instead of getting penalized twice, you're only going to get one. That's not what you said. That's not what that old man in the flip-flops who probably worked for Blizzard said. I watched that stream. That man was angry and annoyed at people talking about this. And he's your lead dev. Listen, I'm going to keep it a $1.50 with you, SDS. If someone along there watches this, we're going to be really blunt here. This is some Blizzard levels bullshit that I didn't think was possible. This is basically, this tells me one of two things. Let me read it before I get into this thought. The shrinkage also helps the number of foul balls that have PNC in the past. PCI shrinkage and PCI enlargement remain the game's a mechanism to maintain balance between the pitcher and the batter. We hope this clarifies the change and the reason behind it. As always, appreciate your feedback. So, we're going to talk about real quick, before we get into me calling these people what they are. I think this is a direct response to that survey that people did over the weekend. Because that was one thing. I mainly talked about the strike zone. I care less about the shrinkage. I'm like, the strike zone's more of an issue to me than the whatever the tomfoolery is. So that to me was the bigger thing. Now let's talk about the shrinkage. Okay, let's be real. I have a theory, and if you're a dev at SDS and I'm wrong, let me know. I have a theory that the devs who actually can do changes don't actually play the game. I don't think they're not playing it. I don't think they know what's necessarily going on, because this has been an interesting point of preference and these are interesting words being used. And the reason why I'm saying I don't think they're playing is the way they're wording this. Is they're making it seem like, oh, tee oh, silly, you thought we were gonna get rid of it? Oh, whoa, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy now. We're just gonna limit the penalties. See? Now, here's what's funny. I was watching a streamer, and this streamer said that when they were doing their release thing, they mentioned it was going to be gone. So apparently, they don't know what the right hand's doing. Now, again, Mr. I wear flip-flops to the office and work in San Diego. Surfer dude. Did you ever work for Blizzard in the past? Because, my God, man, this is some Blizzard-level tomfuckery. And I don't think this is... I think your wording here clearly indicates one thing about your dev team. You don't play your game. And I'm sorry if this comes off as mean. I don't care. I think if you don't play your game, you shouldn't be a developer of said game. Why? Because you're not actively understanding what people are telling you. Point being is when people who work for the company are putting out tweets asking people, what are they still dealing with? Listen, I get it. Early on, this shit happens. But for the love of God, you have to be on this. And these statements here clearly indicate that you don't know what the fuck is going on. The cheating stuff aside, I don't think anyone's really going to be able to deal with that outside of people reporting, and sometimes the reporting is the people reporting just fucking suck. So there's going to be false flags and unnecessarily false stuff within it. However, I think when it comes to stuff like PCI shrinkage and talking about the strike zone, and obviously either A, not knowing what the community's seeing, or B, just being ignorant, is a problem. And this right here, I think, doesn't stop it. It makes it worse. It makes it seem like everyone who was seeing things was absolutely fucking insane. Again, maybe I am the crazy one, but I'm going to be honest with you. A response like this and basically saying, guys, your eyes were lying to you, what the fuck, is kind of messed up. But I digress. We can carry on to bigger and better things. So that's the update. I think it's tomfuckery. I think they don't know what the fuck's going on. I do think the strike zone thing is a good thing. However, PCI thing, I don't think they just know what the fuck's going on. I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think devs play their games anymore. We constantly see that across the board with other games. So this is just another one of those. Suck it up, Jimmy. What are you going to fucking do? Oh, well, we're here for the long haul. We'll see how this tomfuckery plays out as things go along here. If you have any thoughts, let me know down below. If you work for SDS, Please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that you're the one of the good devs that plays the game for like 15 hours a week. I don't fucking know. Just somebody tell me something that you people actually aren't just Blizzard incarnate, because my God, this is one of the worst updates I've ever seen put into words. That being said, I'll see you guys all in the next one.